Sure.
Okay, the room's open.
All right. Hey, everybody. There's people still filing in.
People are coming in.
Give them
Okay, let's get started.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, hey, couple quick things for tonight. Tonight we're going to be featuring. Well, first of all, I'll tell you who's in the room. And I can't completely see everybody that's here already. But we're going to be starting with Ray Bonilla tonight. And then following Ray is going to be Chris Payne. Following Chris Payne is going to be Audrey Benjaminson. And then following Audrey is going to be Don Kilpatrick. And then there's others that are joining us. Bill Cobe is here. But Dale Stefanos will be coming in. He'll be joining us. Dale is an enigma. He comes in and out when he feels like it. hard to pin down. And then of course I'm here with Timmy, and we're delivering this from the Visual Arts Passage. And a couple really quick messages about the passage, and that is we have, of course, our online delivery, and our semester just got started. We're the second week into our semester right now. Our 10-week classes don't start again till October 10th. Please pay attention. We are expecting our biggest semester ever in October, and those classes will fill up and they will sell out. So if you're interested, please join us. We have 2 short classes coming up shortly. The 16th and 18th of August. Foundations of Illustration, I'll be teaching, and Color Theory with Brent Watkinson. He's teaching, which begins, it's a Tuesday evening class, and it starts on the 18th of August. So the 16th and 18th. And then I've been showing a lot of work during this sessions, and we've decided to drive all that to our website. So if you go to our website and look up Illustration Isolation, you can see a bunch of good work from people that have been participating with us and helping us, and just been fantastic embassies of what we're doing. So thank you, everybody. And then thank you again to the Wade brothers, because we'll be drawing with what the Wade brothers, they are brothers. They're both phenomenal photographers, and we've been using their reference for the last 3 weeks, and we're doing it again tonight, and it's really terrific stuff. And thank you again for allowing us to use it.
Yeah, and the only other thing I'm going to add to that, John, is we'll be rounding out the summer with the Wade brothers next week, and I don't know if we're going to get both brothers, but I know I got Lyndon. They're going to hop in for a minute, and we'll get to chat with them and talk about their photography, and they might share some secrets. And it's really going to be exciting because their reputation as in the photo world, especially in the commercial world, is just tremendous. It's international, so we're excited to have them. So tune in next week for that.
Very cool. We're ready.
All right,
Ray.
The first photo's up. It's go time.
All right.
Raymond.
Is the photo up?
The photo is up. If you
Okay.
follow the link, you go to /photos on our website. Let's see. John, we're gonna get rid of your shared screen.
Oh, let me do that. I apologize.
John, if I could, John, because I'm just going from my laptop, I don't see on the link. So if you could identify what the photo is, and then I'll pull it up on my phone, and then I'll get started.
Chris, I'll help you out on the side.
Thank you.
All right, Ray, you're in the
Cool.
spotlight, man.
All right, awesome.
Good to have you back.
Yeah. I good. It's happy to be back, and I guess I could say I'm happy to be going first. I don't know how that happened. I heard there were some controlling forces behind the scene that were insisting that I was going first. So, but they're unnamed so far. So
yeah.
Anyways, how
Chris and I decided that earlier.
are you doing, Chris? Chris, John had told me that you had insisted, and I didn't believe him. So I said Chris would never do that to me.
I would never do what?
Oh, Chris, when we were having the conversation earlier, and I said that Raymond's going first, and we agreed upon Raymond being the first drawer.
Cool.
So we can all warm up with Raymond drawing.
Including Raymond, you know. All right, so I'm painting in acrylics. I am, so actually what I decided to do today was not quite follow the photo reference per se. I'm gonna add a little bit more contrast because that's just my, what I'm feeling like today. I like the dual light source though. I'm working on a painting right now that has a really nice and complicated. I don't know why I find myself in these situations, but I usually find out when it's too late. But I have a really complicated light, warm light, and then mostly actually light turns into warm light, and so that's usually I have to keep track of that, and that's what you want to do when you're painting. It's just warm and cool, and understanding the temperature of your light source and controlling that is how you gain a sense of natural, the light feeling believable and natural. Also keeping your color harmonized. I know before, I think I did a pretty rudimentary drawing, and I'm going to do the same thing today. I just scrubbed in some of the colors, and I'm just going to scrub in some of the colors in the background here. But I am. Did I mention I was painting in acrylics?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, good.
How often do you do that?
Painting acrylics?
Yeah. Do you always start with acrylics first?
I've found myself actually recently doing a lot of my initial paintings, my initial painting layers in acrylics, just because they set up so quickly, and then finishing anything I need off in oils, and it's it just helps with drying times, so that I can have basically do all of my messing up in acrylics and not have to pay a time penalty for it, for any gross negligence on my part. And then
we'll still be giving out time penalties though, right?
Yeah.
There is no Timmy minutes in the real world.
Oh, no, right. There's no Timmy. Yeah, there's no Timmy points. Yeah, no Timmy minutes. So I like I just like it as a nice. It's at first it was just for like a base layer, and I started experimenting with things like actually, well, your question actually allows me to talk about how I kind of came about doing this. One of my first painting processes for just learning how to build a picture successfully actually was Chris's technique of learning the oil wash with a watercolor sort of underlayer, and then oil wash and then color pencil finish on top. And that was the first time where painting process kind of made sense to me, because each step, because it was the first time that I realized that each step meant something in the finish, and you could focus on one step at a time, and then get the best out of get the most out of each step, and helps you get to the finish quicker. And so I've always had that idea of using different mediums to achieve different steps. And so Yeah. So at first I used to like to, I took that idea, instead of working on illustration board, I started to like work on uh, canvas and panel and things like that. And eventually that evolved into me like doing a nice oil lift out with like a kneaded eraser. And then realizing, well, maybe I don't want to, what if I want to do it with a water-based medium? So that I started experimenting with gouache, and the gouache lift out with that. And then realizing right then and there, throughout that process, that acrylics actually allowed me to paint opaquely in a way that was pretty similar to oils to a certain extent, and I didn't have to fight the white of the canvas, and I can basically paint over an underlayer that was colored and that had color that was a little bit more accurate to the finished piece. So I guess it's a roundabout way of answering your question, and thanking Chris for helping me make sense out of painting indirectly, But John, you start with acrylic sort of underlayer as well, right?
Yeah,
For the most part.
yeah, just basically for the same reasons you just mentioned. It just really expedient, and a lot. I started doing it because I use a lot of palette knife, and it pulls things. The palette knife would pull things to pure white of the canvas.
Oh yeah.
Or it's just so much faster to establish it that way.
Totally. And then you don't have things going to white.
Yep.
Yeah. Because I've had to fight that, and that's murderous, especially if you're working wet in the wet.
Yep.
All the fun things. Yeah, I like this this picture because it allowed it's kind of has colors that I don't usually work in, and I like that. I like that. It's actually fairly cold, or a lot of cooler lights on here. And I like that idea. Another thing I like about acrylic is like you said, it's a pretty resilient surface. So you could pretty much put anything else on top of it, like oil pastel, or colored pencil, or whatever. I've always liked that idea. I never painted in acrylics in school. I was mostly just oil paints, and then with the exception of that, the oil lift out, technique and whatnot. But I used to do a lot of studies, and I still do, actually, now that I think about it. But I would it was only on I used to do my studies in oils as well, because I wanted to get better in oils, studies for paintings. And then I had my teacher Craig Nelson, said, why don't you do your comps, or your studies in acrylics, so you can get a little bit further ahead in the picture, if layering is what you want to do. And I said, oh, well, and I said no, of course. And I said, no, this is what I want to do. And then one day I was really desperate for time, because I messed up a bunch of times on a piece, and it was filled with oil paint, and I didn't have time for it to dry out. And so I had to do another study. And then I looked both ways, looked beyond my back, make sure nobody was looking. I picked up the acrylics, and then that was the first time I really used them. My main problem with acrylics, though, is the color shifts. Going from wet to dry, and it was always frustrating for me because it wasn't like oils, which has a shift, but I mean it takes a lot longer, and you could always oil it out and get back that same sort of color accuracy to a certain extent. And so but I recently just a couple of years ago, I found out about Windsor Newton acrylics, and where they have actually a binder that doesn't have the shift, and that's what I use now, and it's fantastic. I don't know why that messes with me so much. I guess it's just because I don't have a lot of haven't spent a lot of time with acrylics to kind of get used to it, that shift. But that's always bothered me. Now, John and Chris, did you guys have like how were acrylics when you first started illustrating? I mean, they weren't, because I know they started off as just people taking like gouache and mixing it up with like an acrylic binder, right?
That's how my dad did them. And they weren't great years before me. They were pretty good when I started. I didn't use them, but I know that they were, a lot of people were.
Right.
No, I just always just use acrylics, but I never use white acrylics in my mixing. I mean, if I had to use any white, I would use gesso.
Got it. Is that just for opacity reasons?
And tooth.
Yeah. Right.
Because you get that if you use too much acrylic, it gets too plasticky.
Totally.
And I would try to kind of work in the layers, and I just wanted to always keep the tooth, which is why when I've messed around with this rolling with the acrylics with the brayer, it really gives me a wonderful tooth.
Right. Which, by the way, I started to do that with some after my gouache lift outs. I would just roll that matte medium that you recommended over it, and man, what a great tooth! It just works like gangbusters.
And it was purely by accident. I mean, it was totally by accident that I found it, and it's just like it's wonderful.
Yeah. Yeah, that ultra matte medium by Liquitex, I think, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
They do a promo for them. Consider
it. I know, they should pay you.
I'm sitting there telling everybody about this stuff and showing everybody. People are always like, "Why are you showing everybody what you do?" And it's like, why not?
Right.
Hey, Chris?
Everybody's gonna take something you show them, and they'll create something wholly on their own anyway.
Right.
I saw some pretty good examples. Doug Bell did a really great one.
Doug is taking it to it like a duck to water, man. He really is killing it. Yeah. That was like we had a kid a couple years ago, Dallin Orr, just killing it.
All right, so I think right now I'm gonna start to develop. I don't have a billion years to do this, so I'm gonna just hit some of the larger planes of the face. Is my camera looking okay, Timmy?
It's great.
Okay, cool. And I like doing this stuff because it forces me, like by this time, these short 20-minute poses, because it requires that I edit, and I think about and I simplify my information, and for me it's great because it teaches me that like half the stuff that I sweat over sometimes, really doesn't matter. You can be more, it teaches you to be much more efficient. And you get these unexpected results too, and that's really cool. So I see some colors here that that I'm laying down. They're like warms. They're a little bit on the, I think the one in the forehead is a little too warm. And I want to kind of cool that down because it's starting to feel a little bit on the muddy side. And just because it's too warm for the surrounding colors. And usually there's a point in time during a painting where, each painting kind of has this blocking kind of where it doesn't look like the finish yet. And when you're early on, you have to kind of learn how to see it through because you're really just putting down the foundations for the piece. And you're going to build on top of that. One of the biggest things as a student that I learned was to spend more time on the earlier parts. So if this were a studio painting for me, I would really spend a lot of time on the drawing. Really make sure that it was nice and
build the cake before build the cake before you got to bake the cake before you ice it.
Absolutely. Well said. Because it's really not about, the end product. It's, you have to understand when you see any painting, you're seeing a bunch of, basically a collection of decisions, and one on top of the other. And, if you look at any, I would say most successful artists and most, most examples of really, really fantastic painting, a lot of it is that complicated images. You will see that they have very, very simple origins. They come from very simple statements at first. Great example that I used to have in my a page open all the time was Mark English's book, where you look at these landscapes and they're just like just tons of colors and these just sort of this really sophisticated type of composition. And there's a page in one of the Mark English's English books where it's just these thumbnail studies, and you could see the whole paintings right there, simplified into these simple shapes. And it was a great reminder to me to just, you've got to build it on a solid foundation. The old, Howard Pyle postage stamp, like it's got to work. Images have to work. If it doesn't work at the size of a postage stamp, then it's really not worth doing. And it's a paraphrase for it, but I think the same thing matters and applies to all facets of this stuff. So you can really, you've got to start out, like have a strong start, and a lot happens at the beginning.
Right. I wish you could have seen him work, because when he did those landscapes, he did demos in front of people. It looked like he was rendering a photograph from those little thumbnails.
That's so cool. Now I like to, so with these types of studies, I like to work everything up at the same. I know, because I like to I have to build everything up to the same amount of finish so that I don't get too, I guess, preoccupied with things that don't matter. So, it's like I'm painting around, I'm building up the next plane, but it's not all the same. It's all the same amount of information. They're all like all my medium-sized planes. And, And you know, with something like this, I find that it's much easier for me to control, see what needs to be added and what needs to be subtracted when I do that. I mean, I know there's some artists that can start from one end of the you know, the canvas or one end of the image and then just render it when it's finished. But that's not me. John, Bill Mon told me a story that he saw Bernie Fuchs paint, and he was very much like that. Like he would start from one end and
Work from top to bottom.
top. That's incredible. You know, that's like I guess a level of focus that I.
He would have a lot of times he'd have his canvas on big paintings rolled up and just unroll it and keep working on it as he got down towards the bottom.
You're kidding me. Oh man.
Yeah, but I don't. John, do you think he did that early on?
No, well, no, he did a lot of smaller pieces early too that were. His early stuff was different. He wasn't even working on canvas. He was working on.
Right. That's what years of experience. That's what all that stuff is. I mean, it's the old classic line, you know. How long did it take you to do that? 30 years of experience, you know. It's
Yeah. Same reason why, you know, Chris, you could turn out a time cover in like, you know, a matter of hours, you know, which would take me like a matter of months to do, you know. And I'm sure doing it a couple of times, you know, is helpful in that process, right?
Well, it was at the time when they called me.
Yeah.
When they used to call me.
Too funny.
Well, that was, you know, that was when I was working with the art director. But once he retired, I mean, the trap door opened and, you know.
Yeah.
You just get faster, you know, and especially if you're kind of doing a similar thing, or if you kind of know what you want to some extent.
Some way, sometimes, and then sometimes it's just you're just
Fumbling in the dark.
moving as fast as you can and hoping that you'll get out alive.
Well, that's true too.
That's usually me on a deadline right there. Yeah.
I had a show of monotypes in 2015, and the first one that sold was one of the last ones I finished, probably the day before I left. You know, and the guy who bought it was a print collector, and you know, and you could tell that just from looking at it that the paint wasn't completely dry yet. These things were up on the wall, and you know they still weren't. You could touch them and probably get paint on your hands.
Yeah. I have artist friends who will of course go unnamed. They're extremely good artists and still very much working today, who on the day of their openings will bring their will come a little early to their openings and bring their palettes with them and touch up the paintings before people walk in, you know.
It sounds like a Francis Livingston movie.
Oh, really? Does Francis do that?
No, I just think he's always, you know, he produces so much work and he's always chasing, you know, he's always after that next show.
John, it reminds me of that great line, at least it's not commercial art.
Yeah,
I will not say anything more.
I know where it comes from. Yeah, there's nothing commercial about that. Yeah, it's true. I mean, the galleries can, you know, doing that stuff can be a lot more commercial than the illustration work at times.
Oh, without a doubt. Without a doubt. Hey, John, how much time I have left?
As long as you want.
Okay. I miss a week and I feel out of shape.
No, that looks really good.
Well,
Are you
thanks,
kidding
Bill.
me? That blue is killer.
Yeah. I
Thank you.
stopped early because the piece, if I kept working, it was going to get worse.
Yeah, I know
That's
the
where I
feeling.
stopped. So I also stopped looking at the reference at a certain point and looked at my painting or drawing, which I think is a good thing to do.
Yeah, I honestly, I have to do a lot more of that. You know, I was thinking a lot about that today when I was working on this painting where I guess it's a study. It's a comp for a much larger piece, but I like to finish my studies off as paintings, like
Right.
full paintings, so that I can even like try and outdo it and outdo my finish, you know, and then when I get to the finish, I try and outdo the study, you know,
Right.
and but I was just realizing how much like early on how much I'm tied and it's something I got to work on tied to the reference. And I spent a lot of time, you know, doing colors and cutting things up and pushing things around and emphasizing things in my reference in Photoshop. But even then, like I don't want to become like just a pair of hands just copying. And I want to do that. I want to get to that process earlier because when I get to my finish, I'm looking mostly at the comp, to be honest with you. And when to help me guide me to the rest of the finish of the larger painting. But yeah, it's always this back and forth, you know.
Well, I think for me, like if I look at work, all the work that has areas that I don't like are the areas where I tried to be faithful to the reference
Yeah,
rather than what the qualities that the painting had or
right.
what the painting was telling me it needed. And so I can look at every painting and tell you where I made a mistake and was trying to be a slave to the reference. Not that reference is not a bad thing. It's a great thing. It's just,
Sometimes it lies.
yeah.
Right.
And also
Right.
like, there's a thing that I noticed. I was driving today and I noticed a car trying to merge and it passed in front of a truck. And, you know, at a certain point, you couldn't tell what was in front of what, whether the car was in front of the truck or whether the truck was in front of the car. And, you know, we always talk about how photos flatten things out. But I remember a line by Robert Weaver where he talked about the flatness of reality. And, and so that, I don't know exactly what he meant, but for me, I take that to mean shape and pattern and that a painting is a flat thing and that's okay,
Right.
you know, and so and reality lies too, you know.
Right.
You're only seeing, there's a great Ben Shahn piece where I think he has a picture of a couple coming out of a church or something like that, but in the painting there's a drawing of him taking a photograph of the couple to do the painting. You know, so it's like the reality is only from a certain point of view,
Right.
right?
Right. Yeah.
Sure he wasn't.
Absolutely.
You're sure he just wasn't being influenced by Egon Schiele and that self-portrait of the.
He could have been, you know. But Hilo was onto something, and he only lived to be 28, so he had his act together. You know, he was already better than everybody else at 12. But
Yeah, I'm glad he's not invited to these things, you know.
I've tried.
It's bad enough we got Chris here, John, you know.
Oh, God.
Chris, Bill, and Dale, and all these guys, you know.
That looks great, man.
Oh, thanks. I've been trying to, you know, I use these as I've been using these these things as excuses to do more portrait painting, because I really love painting heads, and I haven't gotten a chance to do it in my gallery work. It's not by design. It's just that's just kind of what had happened, you know. And so, you know, when I see this, especially these beautiful pictures by the Ways brothers. Thank you again. But I can't wait to see what everyone else is doing. You know.
Well, I just took a flip around, and everybody.
I hope Chris took a break. I hope he didn't.
I gave everybody a head start.
You're killing it. Chris is killing it. Audrey's killing it. I can't see what John's doing because his board's turning.
Yeah. You know, Chris asked
I
for
don't
the
have my,
photo. Chris asked for the photo, and because we're on, you know, week 17. And we still got
to see what John's
people on the
doing.
panel.
Oh, that looks great, John.
But no, I let a couple minutes pass before I sent it to him.
Oh, okay. I need all the help I can get here. Yeah.
Yeah, I need to get a printer like John has so I can print my reference out.
Black and white printer.
That's the way to go. Is that just a laser printer, John?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
Here's a question from Brian Kennedy. How do you keep your colors on your painting from mixing together and getting muddy? When I try layering colors, I end up with muddy colors.
Yeah, that's a great question. Well, the advantage of acrylics is that that's a very it doesn't happen as often because the acrylics themselves dry so quickly. You don't get a lot of unless you really are painting super fast. You don't get that wet on wet like on the mixture on the surface. But with oil paints, that's a constant reality. And the big thing is to make sure that well, a good advice I can give you is, you know, have a plan set up, you know, and if you find that your colors are getting kind of muddy and they're going in and out of each other, and you know, start off a little bit more drier. Don't try not to use mediums early on, because that can and talk about like liquid or thinning down your paints too much. Maybe just trying without just straight from the tube. And then on top of that, you could also try to just pre-mix a couple of colors, or you know, that way your mixtures can be nice and clean, and you know exactly what you need. And you know, there's other ways of working too, where you maybe have a better value layout, you know, an idea of where all of your values are. And a lot of painters do that. You know, myself, I like to work with work into a base sometimes with a really nice, strong value pattern, so that I know where my lights and darks are and how light or how dark to build. Like, even if you did that, you know, that's like huge. You know, you'd be surprised of how accurate your colors are, you know, and how quickly you are able to get to the correct color. And I think that's, you know.
Ray, if I can point out one thing, if when they're watching you, if you notice what he's doing, he doesn't take a mix of paint, hit the canvas or the board once, and then keep going into that same stroke 3 or 4 times. In other words, he's going up there, he gets his paint, and he makes his mark. A lot of times people have a tendency, they'll put a color down, and then they start wanting to work that color into it, and that's what ends up mixing with the color underneath and muddying things up. You got to just put your mark down, put it down. If you're going to put another mark, just put it down on top of another stroke of paint, so to speak.
Yeah.
Help me with that. Explain that a little bit.
Oh man, that's such a great point, Chris. It's, you know, you have to, I think about painting as like I'm putting down little pieces of clay when I'm putting everything in. And you have to, every paint stroke is a decision, right? And so when I put something down, I look at it and then I assess it. And then if I need to make another correction to it, I'll correct that. A lot of times what happens, especially early on in painting, you put something down, you're not sure if it's right. And so what happens, you kind of scrub it and try and make it feel right. But if the color is not right, it's not right. And it's not a big deal. You just go and correct it. Because if you're working it in to try and kind of fake a correct color or correct value, then it's just going to end up mixing, and you're going to end up with a color that is nowhere near the color that you thought you needed, and
It becomes mud. It just becomes
mud.
Right, exactly. And a lot of like a lot of beginning painters will keep painting over the same thing over and over again and not step back to look at the choices that they've made.
Absolutely.
And
yeah.
Because you said, I mean, exactly what you said earlier. It's just a series of decisions. And but also I think this goes back to, I think, do you follow your reference or do you follow what the painting needs? And because sometimes you do something and it can be technically wrong, but it feels right.
Right.
And I think what we do as artists is we compare what we've done. I do this too. I look at what I've done, I flip around the room and I compare to what everybody else has done. And I think, well, Jesus, theirs looks great. Why didn't I make that choice? Or why didn't, I see something in the choices that they made that I wish I had done. But I think that's a learning opportunity for the next thing you do.
Right.
Not the thing that you're currently working on.
Mm-hmm.
Let the thing you're working on now live, and the next thing you do will build upon that.
And also people have to understand when you're working on a piece of art, I mean, every single piece of art, you're working with the same material, same paint, same stuff, but every painting has its own pace. And the idea that you're supposed to be able to make everything come out the same, it's just, a painting will tell you how fast to go.
Right.
It's going to tell you. You can't push a string. You got to sit there and start recognizing that and just let the piece come to you.
That is such great advice. That is like, and if it sounds like, wow, that's super zen, and I don't even know what that even means. It will make itself known to you when you're ready. It's the idea of listening to your painting, and I think Harvey Dunn would use like, I'm paraphrasing a Harvey Dunn quote, but he would yell at his students, basically, telling them, like, if you would just get out of your own way, and let the painting be the painting, then it would be so much better.
Absolutely.
I recently heard something I really liked. It was, don't dissect the songbird. In that it really ruins the whole experience.
That's great.
Don't dissect what?
Don't dissect the songbird. In that, by taking it apart, you really ruin it.
Well, that's critics' job.
Yeah.
There's a great article in an old How magazine by Marshall Arisman where he talks about his three personalities, Frank, and I forget the other two. He named them because it's Marshall Arisman. But he talks about there's the ego that gets him into the studio. There's the part of him that knows how to paint. And then there's the critic, but they can't all be talking at once. So he paints, he gets out in the studio, he starts making marks, and he says his whole life kind of comes into focus. He goes through, what's it called? When you think you're a fraud.
Oh, imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he says his ego implodes, and then it starts to work, and then the part of him that knows how to paint takes over. And then once the part of him that knows how to paint takes over, his ego quiets down, and he paints, and he'll work for a few minutes, and he'll start to get. So, and he said he can point to every painting and tell you when that happened in the painting. And then he says, that his part that knows how to paint takes a step back, and his critic comes in. And when his critic comes in, then it starts to analyze what he's done and look at it. And then it quiets down, the parts of him knows how to paint comes back in. And then he said this has been every painting. He says the difference is that the time limit from start of the whole ego implosion and the imposter syndrome gets shorter and shorter. And I think everybody has that same somewhat similar thing, or whatever your process is. So the more you do it, the faster you're able to kind of get out of your way and start painting.
Yeah.
I don't know if that makes sense.
No, it makes total sense. And I think that's and that comes with time, and a lot of listening to yourself and spending a lot of time with yourself and knowing how you work and knowing, being present, a lot, especially in when it comes to the inception of a painting idea, and then just letting that sort of, I view it as like I think like a Mark Carter. Anybody ever heard of Mark Carter? He's a fine artist. He's on YouTube. Really, really great portrait painter. He's got some really, really smart artists. And he talked about how when you first learn how to paint, you assume that every mark that you put down is a piece of the finished painting. And if it doesn't look like a finished painting, you start to freak out, and then that's where all of the bad painting habits kind of come into place, and it's and that's where you start second guessing yourself and say, no, that was not the right color. And then it's all about kind of you're not going to get a full view of the picture until you've sort of placed everything in and had something to compare it off of. And I think it speaks to the sort of the big overarching concept is like, the more you learn how to paint, the more you paint, the more you study, the more you draw, and the more you fail, the more you'll realize that you, as an artist, you have to have a view that's almost like 10,000 feet up. It's the macro, not the micro. And
right. I mean,
well, I oftentimes refer to it with drawing. It's like when somebody's drawing like they're diffusing a time bomb.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
And yet, a guy I taught with for years had a great quote, and I've probably mentioned it before here on these drawing sessions. But it's true. I mean, the only one taking a risk in your art is the paper.
Yeah, that's such a great line. And I got to write that down and put that above my my drawing board.
That quote is Mark Hazelrig, great teacher that I've worked with for years at CCAD. And it is so right. It is so spot on. I mean, I can remember when I was in school, I was really working. I thought I was getting pretty good with my drawing. So I said, I want to create some drawings that'll be on good paper that I can maybe put on display. So I go out and I buy one sheet of Reeves BFK. Because it was a piece of paper I spent a lot of money on. I mean, the drawing I did was just a piece of crap because I was clutching that pencil,
oh God, that used to happen to me all the time. I'd be free. I'd be free in my sketchbook, and then I'd buy a really nice piece of paper. I'm like, I'm going to draw on this really nice paper.
Then you screw it up.
I totally screwed it up. It was so stressful.
Hey, so I gotta interrupt. It has to have been 20 minutes by now.
Oh, it has.
Yeah.
Okay. I said,
I'm set.
Okay.
That was great, Ray.
That's my
Thanks.
first
You can
first
stop.
note. And then my second thing, because I thought that I was thinking the exact same thing as Marie asked, why did you all choose to focus on his face? And I kind of asked the same question because was that a time decision or?
Yes.
Yeah.
I like the lighting.
Lighting's fantastic.
Right, but I'm just saying because I think there's something to be said about like the story of the photo is the whole photo. It's just, you wanted to be
Right.
able to spend time on the portrait of the face. Is that the main reason?
I just like.
I mean,
Yeah.
go ahead, Bill.
Most interesting part of the photograph to me. I mean,
Yeah.
Timmy, I know we've talked about
Yeah.
that before. As a photographer, I'm sure they're looking, there's so many more things, different things.
Sure.
Thinking
Well,
about.
it's just because it's interesting.
He's an amputee in a wheelchair.
Mhm.
That may be much more a part of it, making it a great piece of photography.
Yeah, and it's shot like a professional athlete's portrait.
Yeah.
Yet
Really dignified head. I mean, it's just
Exactly,
this person is just fantastic.
Yeah.
And we kind of, and the thing is, when you say to yourself, you got 20 minutes, I mean, you can't paint the Battle of Thermopylae in 20 minutes. So
Right. That was kind of what I figured is if you'd had more time, probably you would want to tell that whole story. I don't know.
Right.
That was what I thought. I wasn't sure that I didn't want to answer for you.
And my piece of paper is this big. You
Yeah.
see, if I were to try to draw that thing, I would get myself a sheet of paper, 18 by 24.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, there you have it.
I mean, and you notice we all approached it differently.
Yeah.
We're all drawing the same thing, but we all emphasize different things.
You didn't have to draw a hand.
And we made it our own. We didn't have to draw some muscled hands. So
Yeah. There you go. I know that's what was going on, Raymond.
yeah, I just didn't want to draw his damn hand.
Yeah, I just didn't want to draw his hand.
Chris is up next.
So yeah. All right.
And then
Cool.
Ray, that's an awesome job you did.
Yeah, that's so great,
thanks.
Ray.
Beautiful.
Thanks. Thank you,
Yeah.
guys.
I'm gonna publish Chris's photo. And then
Yeah, I can't wait to see everyone
else.
else's piece.
And then I'm gonna text Chris's photo.
Chris, don't let him mess around with you, man.
No.
What I like is I'm looking at what John did, and John focused on the light of the face, and he made a light silhouette out of the chest, out of the shirt and stuff. And I sort of did the opposite in a way.
Yeah.
Well, I hadn't quite figured that part out yet, but I figured the face out. So anyway.
Okay, so
I'm just trying to
the
slow down a
photo
little
is updated. Sorry to interrupt, Bill.
No, it's okay.
Did you get, by the way, on the topic of that photo, did you guys ever see it's a like early 2000s film, documentary called Murder Ball?
Murder Ball?
Yeah, it's a documentary. No. It's a documentary about the sport. I vaguely remember it. I was looking it up right now. Highly recommend it. Highly recommend it. It's quad rugby. It's like really intense. I believe that athlete was that was basketball, I believe, or that variation of it. But Murder Ball is like this like high speed, high contact, super intense wheelchair sport. Highly recommend it. Yeah, definitely check it out. I just looked up Rotten Tomatoes. It's 98%. So worth checking out. Some quarantine television.
Nice.
The photo is updated. Also, we've got Audrey here now.
Oh, awesome.
Hi.
Audrey.
Yeah, Audrey's
snuck
drawing
in.
is great.
I snuck in.
He was being quiet.
Yeah.
I am. Sometimes I get that way.
Cool. So guys,
around the room, Timmy.
yeah. But Chris already got the photo, and I can't stop him now. So
Which one did he choose?
Just
the kid.
Just go to the website.
No, I print them out. I don't want that. I already printed them out.
There you go.
That was
Yeah, the
quick.
kids, okay.
John, how'd you do it that fast?
Printed them out before we started. I chose all the
Oh,
references.
you've already printed them out. I see what you're saying. I was like, what?
There we go.
Awesome, Audrey.
Oh,
Oh, that was great.
Beautiful, Audrey.
That's so killer.
thanks. I drew it upside down.
I know. I was watching you. I thought I'm doing a portrait like that right now, and
I need to loosen up. So.
I'm kind of liking it.
Yeah, it was it was an upside down kind of mood. So.
We got Don in here, but we're gonna have to pressure him into drawing.
Done.
He's wrapping up his class, so his hands are tied. I think he's gonna make.
That was great, Bill.
He's gonna make me paint. I've attended enough classes that theoretically I should have no problem. Chris.
Can I get college credit for this?
Yeah, I've audited all of our classes, so pass fail. Chris, your screen, it's a little bright. Is there?
You told me it was great.
I
I
told you it
know.
was
I
great.
know.
But you didn't have the white paper. You had it.
You didn't have that white paper.
No, I had a piece of white paper first.
We're gonna. Also, you kind of got a head start, so this is only fair.
Yeah, give us a second to catch up, Chris.
Oh, God, now I got to go into this thing here and try to figure out this stupid camera.
Probably gonna mute you in a second.
That's
Waiting for the words. Waiting for the
case
words to start flying.
Yeah.
These are called Chris Payne moments.
Chris, you're muted.
Chris's pain.
Chris, you're.
Chris
Chris's
pain.
pain. That'll be a segment. Technology gripes.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Oh, hey, by the way, just as an aside, and I posted this on the illustration isolation thing. Gary Kelly posted, he says his website's up again, and there's a bunch of his work for sale.
Wow.
And it's not very expensive compared to what you think it would be. So, I mean, there's a couple pieces there that are just a couple $100s. And
Amazing he got it online.
he gives credit to his daughter. So
I see. Yeah. The man without an email.
Sydney has been a huge help to him.
I have this suspicion that when he likes my stuff on Instagram, that it's really her liking my stuff on Instagram. So
I hate to tell you this, you're right.
yeah, it's okay. I'm okay with that.
You know, people with Visual Arts Passage have figured out that when we like their stuff, it's just me or Alice. It's
It's all a rouge.
yeah, exactly.
So Gary Kelly wasn't trying to sell me Bitcoin, is what you're saying?
Right. But anyways, check. It's just GaryKellyArt.com, and I posted on Illustration Isolation.
Yeah.
Even if you don't buy anything,
He's okay.
Yeah.
he doesn't.
If you buy a Gary Kelly painting with Bitcoin Ray, it is probably not going to arrive.
That's too good.
You may have been caught up in a scam.
I might have been conned, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure Gary is having people drive to Iowa and pay him in cash.
Yeah.
He's all about the
reason,
crypto.
except for the technical reason of
Yeah.
online.
Oh, it has nothing to do with paranoia.
He has a note about that on his on there too.
Yeah.
So
John, on that topic for the printing company, Tony got a letter. My brother Tony works at he runs my dad's printing shop. They got a letter from Macon, Missouri, from somebody asking. They had heard that we printed the phone books, and they asked for us to send them one that they would pay, and so they just got a phone book and sent it to him. They were just like, "This is adorable. We're going to send him a phone book."
I love it.
This guy off the grid, totally off the grid.
That's funny. I don't know where I would find a phone book now.
Oh my God.
That was the hardest part about the request.
I think I'm watching everybody this time.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay,
Going
Chris.
back to
Chris, you back at it? Paper looks good, Chris.
you are muted, so we can't hear anything you're saying. It's good
I'm
though.
feeling
You
okay.
can unmute your mic.
You can unmute your mic, man.
He's gonna sign
I
like
gotta reach. You see, the thing is, I gotta reach all the way across the tripod.
Yeah.
All the way,
Yeah.
You think it's easy?
We're just trying to level out the playing field here, Chris. You know.
Trying to sit there and mess with me.
I can see the lines now. I don't know.
Yep.
Is it showing on your guys' desktop? Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
looks good.
yeah, I could see it. It's
Sweet.
awesome. Thanks for slowing them down, guys, as much as possible.
I appreciate it.
Well, I just started
Yeah.
them over again. So you all have
Not
extra time.
roadblocks. Yeah.
So this is leftover Academy paper.
Yeah. Oh wow, nice. Yeah, this is the illustration isolation spike strips.
We officially own that whatever you do on it, though.
Yeah. A lot of people don't know that when they attend
I can't
the
believe how many
academy,
people have fallen for that over the years.
we have a huge collection.
Copyright 2020.
Yeah. You'll see
It's
there's
built
a
into the
water-
fiber.
Yeah, you'll see that there's a
The
watermark.
watermark.
Yeah.
Watermarks in the yeah.
I'm just gonna watch Chris draw. It's like watching magic. That's what.
Yeah, it's hard not to.
Yeah.
Just for reference, I stopped your video. You'll want to start it again when you draw.
Okay.
Watching Chris paint, watching everyone draw here all at once for free. Oh man, I feel like it's highway wild. I feel like I'm getting away with robbery, to be honest with you. So.
Don is
Bill's
still
not here tonight, is he?
Oh yeah, where's Gil?
So I'm not gonna be able to sleep.
I've had no. I've messaged Gil and I got no response. I think he's teaching.
Oh, that's right. You had mentioned that. Yeah.
Chris, I was going to say something when you were talking about the only thing taking a risk is the piece of paper. And I used to joke with my dad all the time as his mentality of buying art supplies and materials to work on never changed from when he was in art school and he didn't have any money. I joked about it with him one day about saying, hey, I think you can, spend a few dollars on your materials considering what you're selling your paintings for now. And he said, it's not that. And I said, I said, what do you go with me? And he goes, I never worry about if I ruin anything. And he said, I never want to be in a position where I'm not afraid to just throw it out. And I thought, that's a healthy place to be. Yeah. Don't be precious with what you're doing. I still think it was the other.
The other thing I
He's just didn't want to spend money.
was talking with Jack Gondra about art. I always said Jack Gondra created his art from the school of why not.
Yeah.
Why not? And and it's the ideas and the figures and the shapes and everything he did was just.
It was him. It was totally him.
Yeah. he just always just, man, he cracked me up.
Yeah, he was a funny man.
I mean, I had never met him, but he was just an exceptional artist. It was just kind of mind blowing how he was able to. He had those like kind of two facets about his brain that worked so well. You know, like the kind of like his angling art, you know, or that very detailed, almost like photoreal pen and ink, and then that humorous surrealist.
I think on his website he called it real and unreal.
Oh, that's great.
Just real simple stuff.
Real and unreal.
Yeah. He just was just a great guy, great teacher, and great mentor. John, you had him. How did you have him? What, 2 years at the academy?
I think 3.
3.
Yeah.
What was his educational background?
He went to WashU.
Yep.
So did Bernie Fuchs.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. They've had a really good, they own, they have a huge collection of Al Parkers.
Wow.
And I don't know if Al Parker went there or not. He must have if they collected them.
I'm not sure. Yeah, that'd be an interesting thing to look up. Thing I always like to tell people just how many good artists came from Ohio. I mean, believe it or not, I mean, was it Coles Phillips from Ohio, went to school at Kenyon College. Bob McGinnis. Trying to think some of the, what is it, Kobe Whitmore.
Oh, wow. He's from Ohio? I didn't know.
Yeah, he went to Dayton, UD, or Dayton Art Institute.
Wow.
Yeah, come on. Now I'm blanking out on his name. Robert McCall.
Oh, wow. And Frank Duveneck spent a considerable amount of time in
Oh yeah, he's from the Cincinnati area. He taught at the Art Academy.
Right.
And Robert Henry's from this area too.
Right.
Bill Patterson. That's
wow.
Doug Bell is throwing names out there. Bill Patterson and Charlie Hively.
Oh, Bill Watterson.
Cool.
Bill
Watterson, I think he was originally may have been born, but he went to school, but he was went to high school up in the Cleveland area. And he also went to Kenyon College along with Jim Borgman. They were just a few years apart from each other. And Milton Caniff, I forgot Milton Caniff. I mean, the Rembrandt comics.
Wow. Milton Caniff. Wow. Terry and the Pirates. Oh, man.
Oh, yeah.
So good. So good.
Mail Call.
Oh.
Really good stuff.
We need Terry Brown here for this conversation.
Yeah, where's Terry?
I don't know.
He's here.
Is it? Hey, Terry.
No, he was. Oh, now he's in trouble.
He's speaking. He's one of our guest speakers this semester. He's gonna do a short.
He's gonna upgrade him.
He's gonna do a short history of illustration, and then he's gonna. I think we're gonna offer a 5-week class on the history of illustration with Terry.
There you go.
Wow.
Yeah. He does it well.
Wow.
And I love his personal interaction with a lot of the people, a lot of the artists.
And I forgot, Brad Hollins from Ohio.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Fremont.
Wow. All right, we might have to ban the entire state of Ohio then.
I'm gonna have to visit this place.
We're flyover country, flyover.
It's probably really why so many people became artists.
That's what my dad says about Texas.
Yeah,
That's what I always think. It's like there's so many great artists in the Midwest because there's nothing to do.
Trust me, they find things.
Ohio's pretty.
Yeah, it is.
It depends on part of the state.
Yeah, just like any place.
You get some of those flat areas that gets kind of dull.
Where do you live, Chris? What
A
part?
little town north of Cincinnati called Lebanon.
Uh,
As John says, it's the past.
Yeah. I asked Chris where he moved to, and he said 1945.
It's like Mayberry here.
So those movies that you draw from, those are the latest releases, right?
Right.
We got a moving picture show.
Dollar Cinema. That looks great, Audrey. It's a nice drawing.
Oh, thanks. I'm gonna get some ink in now.
I'm just kind of flipping around the room. That looks cool, right?
Yeah, I'm trying something simple this time around. We'll see if it's a total train wreck or not. And I'm only doing one head. I could see Chris's and Audrey already doing multiple ones.
That's what attracted me to it. It was just
Yeah.
a variety of personalities.
You know, it was funny when I posted that work today. I knew Chris would choose the kids, and I knew Audrey would choose the guy in the band out. I don't know why, but I just thought that I know she's going to choose that.
That's interesting.
That looks great, Chris.
Well, I'm going to have to try to, next time you send artwork, try to figure out what John's figuring me out for, and then try to pull.
Try to beat me, stump John.
Just try to stump John.
Not too hard.
That could be a new segment.
If anybody will lead that
Silent
camp.
film. Sorry, Ray, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, I was going to say, if anybody were going to lead that campaign, probably be George, you know.
Stump George.
Yeah, Stump John, led by George.
Yeah,
I could see.
we used to do that at the academy. We'd do a short story or a story illustration, and the trick was stump George to see if you could come up with a story that he hadn't read.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's a tough one.
He tortured the students. I mean, it would be the students against him, and he would sit in the back of the room, and he wouldn't say anything. What during the critique, and then all of a sudden he goes, "No, you got it all wrong. This character was doing this, and this character," and you'd think you'd have him stumped, and he would have already read it. He's amazing. Sometimes we forget that all those beautiful illustrations of George, he's written most of the stories to go with it.
Yeah.
That's true.
George is a very complete creator.
He is.
He
Good
does.
musician.
What's that, John?
He's a good musician.
Yeah. Photographer, writer.
Writes music.
I don't know if he's the greatest singer, but
I was gonna say, if you
Come
ever
on,
have him,
please.
next time you host him, you hide your guitars. You know, if you want to go to bed at any time.
The trick.
He's a really
You
good.
want to go to bed? Don't host him.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was my favorite.
Well, you'll learn when you become partners with the Illustration Academy. You don't always get those choices.
Can you take care of
We-
George?
Yeah. It's it is a it's an invasion.
Oh my God. we shared a room in San Diego back in like the early 90s, and he kept me up till 4 a.m.
Oh, Bill, totally.
I mean,
When I hosted him and John Foster, it felt like we were having a sleepover.
and I, like, it was great, and it was funny, and it was
Yeah,
wonderful.
it was fun.
And then he fell asleep, and I'm like, I have to get up in 3 hours. I don't know how I'm going to do this, you know?
Oh man.
My favorite thing George would say, and we shared a house together for years when we were doing the academy. He would always come in. I was getting ready to go to bed, and he'd say, "John, come check this out." And he would be showing me some artist I'd never seen before.
Yeah.
Whatever it was. And he was just, and then that was the end of it, because it would go on for hours.
Oh, yeah.
He's kind of into it.
No, and it's great, you know, it's just
Exhausting.
exhausting, yeah. But I learned more about how many artists I didn't know from George than probably anybody else,
I agree.
you know, and
Well,
yeah.
that's similar to like a Bunny Carter. I tell people Bunny Carter has forgotten more about illustration than most people know.
Oh, that's probably true.
I can see that.
I mean, she's remarkable too.
That's another person I would love to meet one day. I had a good friend of mine that was fortunate enough to actually, well, Tyler Jacobson had
Oh yeah,
met her, and was saying that she also had like an incredible collection too.
she does.
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
No, it's amazing. But it started, you know, her grandfather started collecting back when, you know, illustrations you can get for peanuts by comparison today. And then her father.
Wow.
And now, of course, she does. And I mean, I don't know, did you get that Red Rose Girls book that she did?
No, I didn't. She wrote a book on the Red Rose Girls.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Oh man, when did that come out?
Oh, that's probably been at least 10, almost 15 years now.
Oh no. Okay. Well, I'll have to maybe hopefully Amazon it.
I think she did Cecilia Bow.
Wow.
She did the years ago, the art director for National Geographic said they wanted to do a book on the art of National Geographic and wanted to know my advice on, you know, editing the book. And I said, don't talk to me about it. You know, you got the wrong dude. You got to call Bunny Carter. And so that book that they put out, Bunny put that together for National Geographic.
That's awesome.
book.
That's a great book. Yeah.
Yes, so brilliant. She's now, I think, the president of the board of the Norman Rockwell Museum.
Oh really? Oh wow.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that. Oh. Well, that's probably why they have so many incredible exhibitions.
I don't know if they still have the book. You ought to check the bookstore out at the Rockwell Museum. Dennis Nolan put together a show called Keepers of the Flame, dealing with, you know, artists and then who they studied with and the legacies of, you know, and he just goes on down the line of, you know, this person studied here, this person studied here, and he kind of bases all some of it with Wyeth and Pyle, and
Oh wow.
it's an amazing book that he put together. The show was at the Rockwell Museum, and I mean, they got originals like you can't believe. They got the you know, the lamplighters of parishes.
Oh wow.
That's on the cover of the book.
And it's called Keepers of the Flame?
I'm pretty sure that's it. I could, when we take a break here on the next drawing, I'll see if I can go in my library and pull it up and show you guys the cover of it. But I think you might still be able to buy it through the bookstore. Because usually, you know how they'll have books like that available years later.
Absolutely, yeah.
What are we at with time on this one?
We're getting close. I started it again when Chris kind of rebooted. 46 seconds.
Oh, great.
Okay.
Yeah, we had long. Well,
And may I request to go next?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know if there was an official lineup.
Oh yeah,
but-
sorry, Audrey. Yeah, no,
You were on the schedule
you're
for next.
booked for next, so this is perfect.
Okay.
The only official thing, Audrey, was Ray goes first, apparently. So that was
Okay. No, I love it.
And just a reminder for everybody joining in, share your work. Hope you're drawing with us. And if you are drawing with us, be sure to post it. You can go to Instagram or Facebook. Either one is great. And just be sure to post it with hashtag illustration isolation and tag @visualartspassage. Other than that, you'll see that we're enrolling for our courses right now. So if you're just tuning in, you missed our big elevator pitch at the beginning. Check out Foundations of Illustration and Color Theory. Color Theory is going to sell out probably in the next couple of days. It's packed. Yeah, definitely check those courses out. Anyways, that had to have been 46 seconds.
Was.
All right. We're on to the next one.
okay.
okay.
Gonna go, while you guys get that set up, I'm going to go see if I can find that book.
Cool. Thanks, Chris.
Have you guys heard of the series of books? It's like a illustrated history of America, and each book it's about 24 books, and each one is illustrated by a different artist.
No.
What is it again?
It's a book of it's like an American history, okay? And each book is illustrated by a different artist.
Oh, wow.
Let me go find it because it's I was looking for something else and I found them. They're in a box. So
It's going to be an expensive Thursday, I think, for me.
Order one thing a day on Amazon during
Yeah.
quarantine.
All right, so Audrey, which one are you picking?
I am.
I had a photo of a man with glasses and like sort of green lighting on top of his head. Yeah, it's
Got
like,
The band, he's got a band jacket on.
Band jacket.
Looks like-
Okay, cool.
I didn't know what the official name for the jacket type was.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It kind of looks like like a drum line.
Black Parade album.
Yeah.
I like it.
Cool.
That picture makes that jacket look like something like, I was like, maybe, I could see myself wearing something like that, mind you. Then when you actually wear it, it's like, this is the worst decision I've ever made in my entire life.
Oh,
At least for
wow.
me. I know you probably look fantastic, Audrey. In it, but
Thank you.
Ray,
Nah.
Mark Maron has a podcast called WTF, and like all the comedians he interviews on it, they talk about how on all their their comedy specials, they always
Right.
wear an outfit that you're like, why did I wear that? I never wear that. Why did I think
like everyone's
think of-
leather
yeah.
specials.
Yeah, they're like, why did I think I should wear a vest?
these are the books.
I've never worn a vest.
It's the same thing that happens when we buy nice art supplies. You overthink it.
Yeah.
It all
This is
comes
funny.
back to it.
Okay, guys, here's the book.
We've got the book guys here.
Oh, well, you got the 2 books. Wow.
Oh, that's gorgeous.
And I mean, it's just a gorgeous book.
Where's the other Flame. I got the Red Rose Girls on Amazon now, and I got
Red Rose Girls right here.
Keepers of the Flame. And then what was the
Oh, man.
So, America,
American?
an illustrated history of its most exciting years.
Oh my God.
So,
Okay.
They use
oh,
promo
Chris, you have the
code.
second book? Go ahead.
Use promo code Illustration Isolation at checkout, and
Keepers of the Flame and America. Wow. Who did that, Bill?
I'll tell you in just a second. So this is each one of these. This is like a 20. It's a book of photographs and illustrations. I know Robert Weaver did a couple of them. Let's see.
Abbott just loaded the books to the Facebook group. So
Oh, thank you.
way to go, Abbott.
Thank you, Abbott. Appreciate that.
That's like Abbott gets the award for best attendee.
Thanks for showing the books, guys. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to co-op Audrey's stream.
Oh no, you're fine.
Strike two, Ray.
I know. It's a really poorly veiled attempt to not draw when you're drawing Audrey, so I don't feel too bad about myself.
I'm
I
flattered.
think these are by Danielle Mafia.
Haven't heard that name in a while.
Yeah, that's cool. I gotta look at that.
Noise. Is somebody got somebody yelling?
I don't know.
Is everybody safe?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Me.
Yeah.
It's never a good question to ask
Yeah,
when
I was
you're
like,
at that
I was
point.
like, I heard some yelling.
That was me, guys.
Oh, hey,
I've
Don. You're
Don.
here.
been lurking in the back.
Is everything okay?
Oh, all is well, man. All is
This is
good.
great. This is great.
I
So what's
thought
up,
I thought it
Don?
was John. I thought it was Don had broken into John's house, yelling at him for muting his microphone.
Oh man, Don, what's happening? Are you gonna make me paint?
Yeah, I was thinking that we would, it'd be extra Timmy minutes. So
Yeah. I'll get my materials prepared.
yeah,
Oh, nice.
station board ready.
I'm gonna have to set it up.
Jimmy, do you have any experience painting?
Theoretically, I have a lot, but I've never practiced it. So, but I've absorbed a lot of class time.
Absorbed.
So
I'd be so curious to see you take a stab at it.
I haven't even doodled for the past 10 years of my life. Not even
We
like
can have
not even like a circle during a meeting.
We can have the stream's first theoretical segment then.
I would bring a lot of people in.
I think it would be fun to do like an attendee, like an attendee joins as a panelist, and maybe we make it like like the NBA, they do like the half court shot at halftime. I think.
Yeah. I love that.
We got to come up with an impossible task that if it works out, they win something. I don't know.
That's just like a whole nother category, like novice class for the fight.
Amateur night. Yeah.
So you think you can't draw?
Yeah. So you think you can't draw?
Yeah.
Or you think you can.
Audrey, that would be a horrible webinar. We just need to find the most mean, cruel illustrators and just have random people on.
So you think you
like-
could?
So you
You
think
think
you
you're
can
better
draw.
than Timmy?
So you think you
So
can
you-
draw, and we're just
so
yeah.
you-
So,
yeah.
So, Charlie, you think you're smarter than a fifth grader or whatever it was?
Yeah.
we'll just find the
Yeah.
Simon
Oh,
Cowell
yeah.
of the
Yeah,
Simon Cowell
so
of
you think you can
illustration.
draw a
Yeah.
podcast for like for like masochists?
Oh my God, yeah. We could call like the Iron Illustrator, and then have like who's gonna be our Bobby Fillet?
Oh man, I don't know.
The Iron
You know,
Elephant is great.
Bill, Ray, Bill Sienkiewicz, when he came to the Academy the first time, John, do you remember that you guys had this bit where the whole week leading up to his arrival, you were scaring everybody into thinking he was really mean?
Nice.
They were like hyping it up. It's like, you're not going to want to joke around this guy.
Oh, he loved it.
And everybody was so intimidated about it. And like already, even even not telling that, people were nervous about it. And,
Oh my God, yeah.
John, I don't remember what you guys told him. He was like, oh yeah, let me do this.
Oh, he was fine with it. He thought it was great.
Yeah.
We did it with Gary Kelly years ago, which was tough because Gary's the nicest guy in the world. And Sterling started it, and it was this. He said, well, if Gary shows up with facial hair, there's going to be a problem.
Nice.
Right? It started, and the rumor started out, said, well, there was a past, he only hit this one student. And then
Oh my God.
which
I remember showing up for the Bill Sienkiewicz one, and I like arrived, and I was like, you guys gotta shut this down. This is I felt like I was like walking into a prank, It was like, all right, we gotta reel this in somehow.
Oh,
I love how
man.
Timmy's the voice of reason, out of all of these artists.
You can see the spirit. You walk in the room,
I would love it if someone did that for me.
I think that's what made it funny, because Bill is the nicest person,
Incredibly nice.
the most nice, welcoming person ever. I was with him I remember this is like a couple of years ago. I was like, so Bill, does it ever get old, people just like loving you? He was like, not at all. I love it. Because he's one of the few people I've ever been around that like strangers, approach and they're like, are you Bill Sienkiewicz? Oh my God, just like totally fan out. And I was like, do you ever get tired of that? And he's like, not a bit.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, well, and you're around somebody like that enough, if they're faking it, but he's always been like, anybody who walks up, he's always been really nice.
Timmy, you're always the voice of reason. You should have seen this Academy before you showed up. Oh, Lord have mercy.
Yeah, I just don't ask about it, Chris, so let's leave it at that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
What a tangled web we weave.
I met Bill when I was about 18 years old, and he's 7 years older than me, so he's always been.
how old are you, Bill?
I'm 55.
Just a child.
You and John Foster are about the same age.
Yeah, John, I thought John was younger than me for the longest time, and then I found out he's a year older than me.
John's 55. Wow.
I think John's 56 now.
Yeah.
Wow. He looks like he's 17.
I know. That's why I thought he was like way younger than me. Because we started out at comic conventions around the same time.
Is his last name Polish?
Sienkiewicz, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. That's
He
why he's
goes by-
nice.
He goes by the Polish guy on his.
The real.
Okay.
That's
Real
right.
Polish
Real
guy.
Polish guy.
I was gonna say, all
Yeah.
those letters that you say differently sound awfully familiar.
And
My
Apparently,
family's also Polish.
apparently he's related to Henryk Sienkiewicz somehow.
Oh yeah, I don't know who that is.
The
Sorry.
writer.
Oh, okay.
We tagged
He
his
was in
work.
Seinfeld. Audrey.
He was. God damn it.
We tagged Bill's work not long ago and tagged, the real that Polish guy. And somebody was like, you should know it's Bill Sienkiewicz art. They corrected us like as if we had tagged this random account. I was like, we did a little bit of homework before we did this, guys.
They were so they were trying to.
They were correcting us. They were like, I don't know who you tagged, but you should know that this is. And it's his. They're both actually connected to him because you can also go to Bill Sienkiewicz.
Oh, one was just personal.
They're both artwork, but I believe one, I'll mix it up. But Bill Sienkiewicz art is I believe run by his
art agent, right?
Agent, I think so.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That makes sense.
Well, Abatini or something like that.
Yeah, Avignetti, I think it's
Avignetti.
Yeah. Nice, another really incredibly nice guy. I met him a couple of times in comic conventions because he represents Alex Ross as well, right?
Oh, cool.
And so walking into a booth, I remember when Bill Sienkiewicz joined on, and walking into a booth and seeing both Alex Ross originals and Bill Sienkiewicz originals I just blew my mind.
That's pretty nice.
Yeah. We should convince him to join on. Boy.
No.
Yeah, everybody
and then,
tag him tonight.
Yeah, we'll tag him, and then we'll all just like inexplicably lose audio and video on all our ends. And then,
The best way to get Bill to do something is to challenge him.
Yes.
All right. Yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah,
Bill, I challenge you to a draw.
No, just
I like that. This goes with our fight night concept really well.
Yeah,
right?
I challenge you to a draw. Yours truly, George Pratt.
No, I like this. This is kind of the Conor McGregor Mayweather situation.
Yeah.
Ray, you just have to talk. We'll do we've planned. John and I talked about this a lot. We really want to build it out. Like we're gonna have a weigh-in.
There can be only one.
Yeah, where you guys it's just like a 15-minute Zoom meeting the night before.
Yeah.
Where you guys stare at each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it.
No.
Have you seen Bill's music video?
Is that for Rizzo?
I don't know who it's for. He's in a music video. It's a redo
I don't think I have.
of a Radiohead song, "Fade Out."
It's probably not associated with RZA. He did the album cover for one of RZA's albums.
Yeah.
I'll look it up.
No, so it's I forget who the band is, but it's like a metal version of the song "Fade Out Again."
I think we should tell Don's busy. He's got his hands tied tonight. And did you ever hear the story about, I think it was like Bruce Springsteen was supposed to do SNL and like backed out, and like Lorne Michaels goes out and he's like, our music, talent tonight is not available. But we heard a rumor that the Beatles are, in Manhattan right now. And if you guys would stop by, it would really be helpful.
Oh, that was because of Springsteen backing out in the last minute. Oh, I didn't know that.
I don't know if it was Springsteen, but it was like, it was like a desperate, and they just thought it'd be funny. And it apparently like half half the band showed up.
No, just George Harrison.
Was it?
Yeah, just George
I'm trying
Harrison,
to remember
and
the
yet,
story.
and
It
the
came
story.
really close to happening.
Well, what happened was George Harrison was going to be on, and McCartney and Lennon were in town and saw it, and they said, we ought to go down there and crash it.
Oh,
And they said, yeah, let's do that. And then last minute they said, nah, never mind. And they didn't.
huh. But I've seen the video of Lorne Michaels asking.
Well, yeah,
they
he
do a
says
plea.
something like, you know, if
He
you
does a
guys
plea
play here,
for it.
we will pay you $1,000 each or something. Some absurdly, you know, $500 each.
Oh man, that was oh man, I'm trying to remember. I'm gonna have to think.
I think Eric Idle was on it too. Eric Idle, because he kept on trying to sing "Here Comes the Sun." They kept, you know, stopping him. No, stop, and you know, they go to something else.
Yeah, I know. Ray, were we talking the other week about the Beastie Boys?
Yes.
Did
Yeah,
you
the
watch,
document.
Did you
Yeah.
watch it? Okay.
I started it, and then I got up to the point where they early on where they apologized to actually the founding member. I forgot the woman's name.
Yeah. Well, the $1,000 for a show is when Russell Simmons gets the call from Madonna's agent, and he's like, I can't even remember. It was some big band that they believed Russell Simmons represented at the time. It was like, I think it was the B-Boys. And he was like, yeah, they're not available. Sorry, they're booked for the rest of the year. I got these kids, the Beastie Boys, they'll do it for $500 a night. And then it turned out he did not represent any of, you know,
That's great.
He did not represent this band at all.
That's great.
Yeah, I loved that.
It's like every like great artist story, like a career always has a story where they like basically lie, and then you know, like where it's like, can you do this? You know, like yeah, sure, I can.
Of course
totally
I can
do
do
that.
that.
You know, yeah, that's my specialty.
I do that all the time.
Yeah.
You never say no.
You never say no. No.
Right. Do you know how to ride a horse? Yes.
Yeah.
I grew up around horses.
I definitely said that.
What's that?
I said I definitely did that. I had it was an illustration for Cruising World magazine, which is like yachts and boats and stuff. And they said, and our director, who I'd known from, I used to do illustrations for Sephora magazine, it was like a food magazine, and so he moved over to a bunch of other ones, and this was one of the magazines. And he said, Ray, do you know how to do like boats and stuff? And I was like, yeah, absolutely. He's like, well, you know, we didn't see it in your portfolio. I was like, yeah, I know, but you know, I just don't. I do them all the time. I just don't show them, you know. And I had never done you know, anything remotely close to, you know, anything boat related. And so that was the most, because you know, that's what I learned. I was taught to say yes, but the thing they don't teach is like, what do you do after they say, yep, okay, let's here's the manuscript, you know. It was a mad scramble. Yeah, you just learn how to do it. You know?
Learn fast.
Learn fast. You know?
I did a bid once for a job I was going to be I was going to be shooting it with this director, and it was going to be, we were going to be on a mountain. It was going to be with a red camera, which I'd never shot with before.
Oh, wow.
And they were like, so you're sure you'd be able to shoot this? Like, you know how to use that camera? I was like, oh yeah, definitely. And I was thinking in my head, like, this is the catapult moment. You got to fake this, because everything just compounds and becomes more and more better. And then they're like, you're not like worried at all about the sub-zero temperatures? What's that going to do to the lenses? And I was like, oh yeah, it'll be fine. And I still think about it to this day. At the very last minute, they found another person that was like highly qualified that became available. It was like the original person that was going to do it. And they're like, really sorry, we're going to have to go with what's his name. And I think about it to this day. I think, thank God.
Yeah, but I want a kill fee though.
Oh.
Give me a kill fee.
Yeah, give him a kill
I think
fee, right.
I still think, and at the time I remember I was upset that I got like that it didn't work out, and it's like, oh my God, it would have been a disaster.
I have a thing like that. When I was doing illustrations for Fireman's Fund Insurance, long time ago, I did like 40 of them or something. They had run a commercial that I think it was by Frank Ockenfels III, the photographer, but it had a hurricane in it, and there had been a hurricane on the East Coast or something, so they couldn't run it. And so the art director was like, "Can you do a commercial?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure." So
do them all the time.
Oh my goodness.
So, so what I did, basically, I had a friend who was a photographer who knew how to light stuff and shoot stuff. And over the next 2 days, we did a sample, and then I edited it together and, I don't know, After Effects or something like that, and submitted it. And I mean, they didn't end up using it. They did something else, but it was a great experience. And it was like, of course I can do this, Or
Wow.
can you do the photography? Can you do you've done illustration? Can you do these as photo-based things? I'm like, how many are there? There's 40. Of course I can.
Oh man.
Otherwise somebody else would have done them.
0% chance it would have played out like that for me.
Well,
it would have been. It was a 100% fail rate with what I was going into. Yeah.
Oh, man.
They don't even know.
Yep.
I mean, they don't even know how close. I don't know. Maybe they do. How close they came to dodging that bullet. Yeah.
if I had waited till I was ready to start
Yeah.
being an illustrator, I never would have been ready.
But yeah. No, for illustration, there are certain things I totally agree. It makes sense. Fake it till you make it. Now, if your dream is to be like a pilot,
Or a surgeon,
or a surgeon,
Yeah.
Or an interpreter.
yeah.
Interpreter.
Yeah.
That's almost every 1960s movie description right there.
Yeah.
Like every Peter Sellers film. Can you do
Oh
this?
man. Yeah.
Those language tests are very difficult. I took the FBI language test for Russian, and I got super close, but there was one key component that I had to translate that was, you had to get it exactly right. If not, it could have been, I knew it was about a missile, and I'm not joking. It was about the little segment that I listened to was a missile, but I didn't know where it was going to land, and I didn't know the precise language, so I was out.
That would be critical error.
Yeah. So let's just say that didn't work out. So, but conversational, I did okay. But you're having to translate. You've got, yeah. So interpreter for the defense department. It's pretty precise.
You mean it's not Toledo?
Yeah, right. Oh man.
Audrey, well, we've been talking. Your work's looking awesome.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, sorry for yapping over your.
And Audrey, the timer just went off, but take another minute or two for sure.
Oh, okay.
Is this guy we're drawing, is this an actor?
I don't think so. He's got a shirt that says, I think it says Tonganoxie, Kansas. So I would imagine that it's a friend.
He looks like, he's kind of reminding me of, he's got kind of a Flight of the Conchords sort of vibe.
Yeah, totally.
Pretending to do something you don't know how to do is sort of a Flight of the Conchords thing too.
Yes. Also hair helmets.
Yes.
Hair helmets, yes.
I bet it's a friend or somebody they were hanging out with at the time. I think that's more likely.
He just looks like the guy who would be the nerdy scientist in an X-Files or something. The hacker.
Yeah. Came up with the answer before no one believed him.
Yeah.
Right. Either that or the guy who steals the dinosaur DNA.
Right. But no one would suspect him.
Exactly. Newman. It's too much fun just to flip around all the different rooms. I know the audience can't do that.
I like right as you said it, I zoomed out so they could see it. It looks great. I'll do a little tour. Chris, we're stopping by your studio.
No, that looks awesome, Chris.
That's incredible.
That shape to his head is wonderful.
Yeah. I wish I had made his head bigger.
That's what I do. Make big heads.
That's fantastic, Don. Ray.
Well, thanks.
Yeah, Don's not drawing right now, but
Don's not drawing.
Hey, I take that as a huge compliment. Okay.
That's fantastic, Ray.
Oh, yeah.
Do you speak Russian, Ray?
Yeah. No, this is Don Kilpatrick's stream, and I just want to point out, I just want to send a note to Bill Sienkiewicz. I challenge you to a draw.
Yeah.
Wrote it.
I do encourage everyone to tag the real that Polish guy. I'm not joking. Please tag him and say we want you to come draw with us.
So
because
cool.
he'll come.
Should I?
And
Should I
tag Ray and say Ray
Don
is
Kilpatrick.
Ray
personally
Don Kilpatrick challenges you.
Yeah.
Yeah, Don Kilpatrick.
Publicly challenged you
Don
to a
Kilpatrick wants to know, are you man enough?
Right, yeah. FBI interpreter Don Kilpatrick wants to
They're
know,
just gonna.
can you handle it?
I'm gonna grill you.
We just gonna skate past that you were taking an FBI translation test.
Yeah, I'm curious about that.
We were just gonna accept that on surface level and just be like, okay.
Yeah, right, Chuck. I triple dog dare you. I think we should have Felicity challenge, Bill.
Yeah.
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 The best odds.
Yeah, that'd be our best. That's our best bet right there. Felicity's probably is the best one we got. So.
Or I could do it, and it'd be the Battle of the Bills.
Yeah.
The Battle of the Bills.
By the way, Don, nobody in this room thinks or buys that you failed the test and is pretty sure that you were working for the FBI. So
yeah, you heard it here first.
Yeah, you heard it here first.
Oh, great.
I was thinking the KGB.
Right. Well,
they're both attending this webinar.
Yeah. They obviously didn't teach you how to lie well, Don.
I can neither, admit or deny.
Both organizations are attending the illustration isolation event.
So you better watch out.
Yeah, they're attendees.
They're attendees. Yeah. Hey, that's another reason we can get Bill in here.
Yeah.
They logged in as FBI and not CIA.
This is totally not the CIA.
Totally not the CIA.
Has joined the room. Yeah.
CIA is showing the chat.
I'm thinking Audrey's in the CIA.
Yeah, I think it's
Like
I think so too.
Well,
You can't draw that well. You can't draw that well by accident.
Yeah.
never know.
like that.
It's an Argo. It's an Argo situation.
It's like that.
You just got to learn illustration. We're gonna get them out of here.
What's that Charlize Theron movie where she plays the spy?
That was a really cool movie. I can't remember what it was
Oh,
called though.
yeah.
Something Blonde, Atomic Blonde.
Atomic Blonde. That was a sweet movie.
I love the fight scenes in that movie because people got tired.
Yeah.
Like watching it or
The fighters.
No, not
Yeah.
I was exhausted.
I was confused. I was like, oh,
Bill, I saw that. That was in a Guy Ritchie movie where there's these two guys fighting and then it becomes a chase. And the chase just goes on so long that it gets to a point where they're just like gasping on like a jog and they're like separated by 20 yards, you know? Yeah. No,
One of my favorite.
stylistically, that movie's great.
Oh yeah. Well, she's just got so many different identities too, and
Yeah.
but I love that like she's fighting these people, but it's exhausting for her. Because you see all these fight scenes in movies, and like they're doing all these crazy things, but nobody's tired.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think Atomic Blonde was it's in the I don't know if it precedes the John Wick film, but it's in that same league of like films directed by stunt people.
oh, is it?
oh,
I think so.
Cool.
I'll do a bit of a fact check, but
Well, Bill, remember they got tired in the fight scene in HUD.
Oh, yeah.
Also, 48 Hours.
Yes.
Nick
Yeah.
Nolte, Eddie Murphy.
Oh God, that's a great movie.
I love that fight scene where they.
yeah, Bill, it's directed by David Leitch, who's a stunt stuntman that he ended up directing the John Wick movies.
Has anybody seen the old BMW commercials where they got a different director to do each one? They had Wong Kar-wai and Guy Ritchie did one.
Oh, I remember those. Like,
Clive Owen was the driver. The one that Guy Ritchie directed, Madonna's in the car without a seatbelt, and she's just getting thrown around the car like crazy.
That's good.
Should we move on to the next one?
Yeah, I think it's
Sure.
about time.
Awesome, Audrey. Great job.
Very nice, Audrey.
yeah.
I think she just maybe her computer died or something, and she just left the room.
I'm done with you guys.
And I'm
She's like,
out.
all right, I'm out. Okay, all right. We're at a crossroad. Is Bill up? Who's up?
Don's up.
Don.
I'll do it.
I've been. John. Don's in a. Don. What's?
I thought you were. I thought you were trying to. Bill, go ahead, man.
Don.
Yeah. Bill can go.
Don.
Yeah.
It's claim the throne if you want it.
Maybe just, no, go ahead, Bill. It's
Are
cool.
you sure? Okay, this is great.
Okay.
Awesome. Well, cool. Bill.
I love Bill when he's ready.
All right.
I don't
Bill,
know. I
I'm gonna-
take photos, so it doesn't matter.
I remember you liked the Oakley one, which is the young woman in the bleachers.
Yeah,
Yeah. Cool.
I'm good with whatever.
All right. Well, that's it.
Oh, cool. Yeah. All right.
Their heads here is that the one with their heads tossed back?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a great shot.
That's a great shot.
Did Audrey come back?
Just as you said that. Yeah.
Is she back? Hey, Audrey.
hi. Apparently my laptop wasn't plugged in, so or
We moved on. It was
We-
difficult, but
We thought you were angry at us.
we
Before I start, I
assumed.
wanted
Yeah.
to show you the book. This is one of the series of books I've got. This is what it's called, An Illustrated Diary of Its Most Exciting Years. And this one's got illustrations by Robert Weaver.
Oh, whoa, those are awesome.
And he ended up painting on top of photos and photocopies.
Wow.
So like, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yes.
That's awesome. Look at that.
And now I get to draw after showing you this stuff. So that's,
Yeah.
you know, shooting myself in the foot. But it's a series of books that came out, I don't know, 80s. So I'm just going to start with just kind of the general shape. I'm working with new pastels.
Hey, John, you back drawing with us?
Yes, I am.
All right.
I actually have to get going tonight at 9, but I really am excited to see how these all come out.
Thanks for joining, Audrey, and thanks for drawing.
Oh, good to see you, Audrey.
Yeah, great, great.
Yeah, this
Well-
was great. I really enjoyed it.
Audrey, thank you.
Yes, I'll see you guys next week.
All right. Be safe.
Awesome. Take care, Audrey.
Yeah.
Mm.
Ray, I got shut down by Timmy. He won't let me share my camera. So
I've been there. I've been there.
the host has stopped my camera. It won't until the host.
Power thing, John. Sorry.
It's not a big deal.
I just asked to start your video. You should be able to. I just hear like somebody sipping out of a straw.
Yeah, someone's pouring a gigantic whiskey.
So is this one of the pictures
That's what it
of
is.
Sienkiewicz?
Taking the edge off.
Take the edge off.
Take the edge off. Yeah.
You know.
Is Dale join? Is Dale in the audience today?
I've
Or
looked at the. I've looked a couple
Didn't see him
times.
look.
I don't think so.
He's usually lurking around.
yeah, we have to coax
always
him out of.
Draw him out of the woods.
Draw him out of the woods. Yeah.
He posted a photo of his garden, and I was like so envious of. It appears like he has a backyard pool, which is just unreal. The dream. Yeah, no. So maybe he's doing yard work. I don't know.
That's the usual excuse from him.
Yeah. Hiding out.
Hiding out for sure.
Well, the days are getting shorter, which is sad.
Yeah, it is sad. Yeah.
But I got a feeling we're gonna have more people drawing with us as it gets darker in here.
I may not turn my camera back on. I just started over.
That's a big ditto on my front too, John.
I just got a message from Dale.
Oh, nice.
We conjured him.
No, he's
We
having,
did.
Sorry.
he's having
Sorry.
some technical issues.
Oh yeah.
Chris, give him a call.
You're gonna have to mute me in a minute.
Yeah, Chris, do you still work with the Geek Squad? For, on the side, doing that. Was it Apple Genius Bar?
Chris, I have nothing to do with this
Yeah.
Rough.
this part of the programming.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
You
I
might
know.
have to, I think, first of all, you need to explain what the Geek Squad is to Chris.
Oh yeah,
Well, that's-
yeah, Chris, I'm not calling you a geek. It's a.
You've already
it's a-
scared
It's
Audrey.
a team of.
Economy.
It's a team of tech wizards
I
Employed,
know what
employed
the
by
hell it
Best
is.
Buy.
He probably calls them all the time.
Yeah.
Actually, I hope
He calls them.
know,
He
I
probably
don't.
calls them geeks.
Timmy, did you hear what Bill said? He said we already lost Audrey because of you. So now we're gonna lose Chris.
No, the only way you're going to lose me is when Tim has to mute me because I start popping off with some good.
Yeah, when you start the censorship.
I watched-
Chris, you're making me out to be like Big Brother here.
I'll go full tilt Archie Bunker on you.
I thought you were the
Yeah.
reason.
Please don't.
I mean, he's from Ohio. Okay.
Yeah.
That's
Let's
right. The home of the Huckleberries.
the home of the Huckleberries. I mean, Robert Henry is from that place. He only left because his dad was his dad murdered on a riverboat?
Oh my God, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That's awful.
Seriously. Dang.
Man.
It's like, yeah, what did your dad do? Mine was a riverboat gambler.
So was mine.
Yeah.
Yeah, except John, wasn't Mark's riverboat was a little bit more landlocked.
It didn't go anywhere.
It didn't go anywhere.
But it got him where he wanted to go.
Absolutely.
Oh man.
So John, your dad told me a story about how he talked his way out of a ticket one time.
Oh God, that story. Oh Lord.
Probably not a story for illustration isolation. I'm not. All right, guys, you heard it here. I'm censoring the isolation. On the topic of riverboat gambling, though, I watched a movie the other night that I highly recommend checking out. Have you ever heard of Mississippi Grind?
No.
I've heard of it, but I haven't.
No.
It's so good.
I thought you were gonna say Maverick.
That too.
No, it is really good. Chris, you'd love it. It's a movie about a nothing. No, it's a good story. It is a good story, but it's just these two guys going through the South, going casino to casino.
That's not how we refer to grind.
Yeah. Well, it's the Mississippi.
You walked
Grind.
into that one.
Yeah. Highly recommend it. It's what's his name? Ryan. One of the handsome Ryans in Hollywood.
Ryan Gosling.
No, the other.
Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah,
Ryan Seacrest.
No, Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Seacrest.
Ryan Seacrest.
Oh, guys, it's the best movie. It stars Ryan Seacrest. Yeah, that would be on brand for me, Ray.
Sounds like one of those old Johnny Carson bits. Ryan O'Neal, Ryan Seacrest, Mitchell Ryan, and Skip the Wonder Dog.
Ryan O'Neal is in a great movie called The Driver.
Oh yeah, it's a good movie in spite of Ryan O'Neal.
Oh.
He acts almost as good as Keanu Reeves, almost.
Oh.
Then he must be Oscar worthy, Chris, is what you're saying.
Absolutely.
That's a great movie, though.
Driver?
Yep. That's from the 70s.
Yeah, it's got Isabella Gianni and Bruce Dern.
There you go.
You ever seen most movies with Drive in the title are pretty good. Have you guys seen Drive with the other handsome Ryan?
Yeah.
I think I've
Ryan
seen that
Gosling?
one.
Yeah.
What about Baby Driver?
It's all great movies. If you put Drive, you put
How
Drive
about
in the
Vanishing
title
Point?
instead. Doesn't have Drive in the title, so I don't know.
I'm showing my age by saying Vanishing Point.
I'm not familiar with that.
None of you guys have ever. Does anybody recognize that title?
I know.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of Vanishing Point. Yeah.
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 Who's in that?
Barry
don't have
Lyndon,
a-
Steve Von Little.
Chris, I just don't have a film reel to. I don't have a projector, so.
That was one of those movies you go to the drive-in to see. It's a drive-in classic.
Yeah. No, we were talking last week about directors that had really defined style. Don, you said you'd seen Drive. Nicholas Winding Refn. That guy's style is insane. It's so great. But then I would say that it's a great example of like his follow-up movie was called Only God Forgives. And it was like the epitome of like all aesthetics, no story. Like it was like one of the most beautiful movies I've ever seen, but it was like that was garbage.
This is just total,
It was just mindless, like it felt like a $100 million student film. Where it was like, wow, that was so well done, but
What was that one, Jimmy?
Only God Forgives. Like, I mean, I was engaged throughout the whole thing because it was like every scene was beautiful, but like the story was horrible.
Yeah.
Sort of like Heaven's Gate.
Yeah.
Which is weird because Michael Cimino's other movie was amazing.
Oh, yeah. Well, you also don't forget, I mean, what, you're talking Deer Hunter?
Yeah.
Well, he also did Thunderbolt and Lightfoot.
Oh.
Did you ever see Thunderbolt and Lightfoot?
Yeah, a long time ago.
And, what's his name? I can't think of the other actor's name. Clint Eastwood and
Jeff Bridges.
Jeff Bridges. Yeah.
Stick with me and you live forever. George
Oh, yeah,
Kennedy.
the guy from Tron.
Yeah, the guy from Tron. He's done a few other things besides that. He did Tron.
Oh, man.
On a totally unrelated note, are there still any people left in the chat room after that?
No, everybody left.
Everybody's gone.
It was like, oh, man.
We're just doing this for us now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember I saw that film, and I was like at the right age, The Only God Forgives, where I was like, that felt like a movie that I'm supposed to appreciate. And so somebody was like, did you like it? And I was like, yeah, it was good. And they were like, it got a 10% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh, God.
And I was like, okay. Yeah.
I got a chance to see Drive. I was actually
Drive is so good. Yeah.
Yeah, I was actually out in LA when I got a chance to see that, and I walked around LA that whole day, and it's kind of like
kind of trippy. Yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of like the central character in that film, and it was pretty cool to go. And
in the back of your head, you're just hearing like.
Yeah. I walked all the way down to the Staples Center because I was walking. I was staying downtown at the bottom.
Driving a little faster than you should. Yeah.
Well, that was cool. To be able to see it there and have it. It was neat. It was a cool experience.
That was also when what's his name? This is embarrassing. I can't think of his name. Breaking Bad, or as everybody probably knows,
Bryan Cranston.
Malcolm in the Middle.
Malcolm in the Middle, yeah.
Bryan Cranston.
That was. I feel like that was like a turning point for Bryan Cranston, like during the Breaking Bad deal, where it was like it was still crazy to see him as this like intense guy.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember Drive now. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It's yeah, but it's great because Gosling's character, his name throughout the whole film is the driver. You never know his name.
Well,
that's a every frame of painting movie, in that somebody took all of these major scenes from that film, and I'll find the link to it and I'll share it tomorrow. They break it down into quarters, and in most scenes in that movie, you can split the screen into at least a half, so it's either vertical or horizontal, and there are two stories happening.
Oh,
So
wild.
They operate, they function independently, and it's really amazing. And I think it like applies to, you know, as visual storytelling, it totally applies to like what you guys are talking about tonight, in that like, what's the story here? Why is it cropped in? Why is it not cropped in?
Right.
Making those decisions, because it is really interesting.
Yeah, no, it's awesome.
Oh, how does it look?
The drawing, Bill?
Yeah, the drawing.
Oh, that was like an alarming pause.
Yeah, it looks great.
That's the first time anybody's ever said that before in here. How does it look?
Steve McQueen and Papillon. Hey, how do I look? How do I look?
So in the Ryan O'Neal movie, The Driver, there are no character names. It's the driver, the detective.
How am I looking?
I think I'm done with that one.
Yeah, sorry, Bill. I was cut off by the question. I was looking around my my palette for some reason, as if you're like something was in frame
Bill,
on my end.
Bill, yeah, my little brother left the keys, or he left the keys in my dad's car. It was like years ago, and it was like one of the first like push button start cars, and he parked it downtown, and the car ran all day. And so we call him Baby Driver, because he always keeps the car running. It's like one of those things. The only reason he found out was because when we got back to the car, a police officer left a note in the car that said, "Hey, you left your car running." So he turned it off. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh man.
Baby Driver is a good movie though. That's a fun.
Yeah.
That's like a popcorn flick, fun movie.
Yeah.
Totally popcorn flick, yeah.
I saw that with my son. It was a fun father and son movie.
Yeah.
Has John Hammond is John
Yeah.
Hammond's in.
Yeah.
Oh
Yep.
God, he was nasty in that.
Yeah, that was kind of a surprise.
Who was this?
Hey, Chris, there's Chris's camera.
Oh, I have this light. If it doesn't notice motion, it shuts off.
Gotcha. John's camera is still in quarantine.
It's probably not. I just haven't turned it back on.
Gotcha.
This is on John. John, this is on you at this point.
Purposeful.
Yeah, I mean, you should be able to turn it on now. I'm assuming you're choosing not to.
Kind of choosing not to, right? And I started over on this one.
Yeah. Ray, we're stopping by your studio to say hey.
Cool, welcome everyone. You can see me struggling with this color and asking myself, why did you agree to be embarrassed in front of artists you respect? Again.
There's like a stage or there's an actor that decided to do stage. He decided to try Broadway out, and it was like leading up to it, and he's like behind, he's backstage and minutes away from going out, and he's just like, why did I agree to do this? Why did I think I needed this?
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember who it was.
Peter O'Toole in My Favorite Year.
I love that line, Chris.
What's
That's
that?
great.
I'm not an actor. I'm a movie star.
Yeah.
That was a wonderful movie.
Oh, it's a great movie.
There's like
Lost Hijack.
Yep.
Filmed at the Hotel del Coronado.
Yep.
San
We're
Diego.
engaged.
I gotta paint more of these types of poses. They're difficult, and I gotta really nail them. Chris's yours is incredible.
Yeah.
I'm sad that your camera didn't shut off accidentally.
There we go. Try that.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Wow.
Great.
I needed this drawing session bad, believe me. I mean, I've been drawing a little bit, but not enough, you know.
Right. Right.
I mean, I'm really glad the way school's been going, but man, I needed some drawing time.
I hear that.
Yeah. And I think it's different from like, at least for me, it's different from like working on my work, you know.
Right.
It's a different type of muscle that they're working, you know.
Yeah. Well, I've been scanning artwork in to my website for the last, I don't know, several days. And just, you know, very little drawing.
Yeah. Yeah, I really needed it too. I have not done as much tonight, but I ended up having to record a lot of videos for our new faculty orientation. And
Yep.
it took me like 2 hours to get a 5-minute take.
Oh God, it's awful, isn't it?
Oh,
You record it and you go, my God, my God.
yeah.
I understand why they get professional voiceovers, you know.
Oh, yeah.
I need to get Peter Coyote to do my audios for my.
God, he's great.
Oh yeah. Well, Alexander Scorby's dead, so I can't use him.
Peter Coyote's the best part of the Secret of Nim.
Yeah.
Talk about a movie that I really need to see again. That's a
Yeah.
every frame's a painting sort of type of movie.
Oh, yeah. That's Don Bluth, right? That's a
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's really high hopes for that studio at the time.
Yeah, because he had just left Disney, and that was their first big movie, right?
Yeah. And he had done the animations for I think it was called Dragon's Lair. It was a video game.
Oh
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah, I remember that game. Yeah.
and Space Ace. I got him on DVD.
Oh, Dragon's Lair. I spent so many hours playing that game.
Wasted a lot of money.
Obsessed with it, and you can.
Yeah.
They made an app out of it. You can play it on your phone now.
Oh, really?
It's
You
really.
can play it on your phone now. Wow.
Yeah,
I lost a lot of quarters in that game.
Yeah.
I recommend getting it on the phone because it's great. They didn't change anything about it. It's just like right from the arcade.
That's cool.
I got the.
They restarted a lot then.
Yeah, you make their own move and you're dead.
I got a. There we go.
Oh, that's cool.
The 20th anniversary special edition,
What?
and it's got Dragon's Lair, Dragon's Lair 2, and Space Ace.
I don't
And
know.
you can.
This is thrilling. I didn't even know there was a sequel.
I know. Same here.
Oh, the sequel's nuts. It's like, it looks like, I mean, the animation's incredible. And what you could do is you could just, there's an option just to play the whole thing. And you could see the entire story uninterrupted and stuff. And so,
Oh, that's cool.
yeah, it's so awesome.
Is it as
I'm a
difficult?
huge Don Bluth fan. Say again?
Is it as difficult as the arcade game? Because I'd lose like $5 in like
Oh my
a
God.
minute.
The arcade
it's-
game, it was impossible.
It's
Yeah.
identical to the
Everything.
arcade game, yeah. But you can, instead of playing it in the arcade, you can you play it on your on your DVD remote, or you can on your PlayStation 2, anything that accepts a DVD video player. You
I
can
would
play on it.
imagine that I would imagine a DVD. It was impossible with a computer keyboard. It was like I'm imagining a DVD controller.
It's just a remote, you know, and it's just like,
That
yeah,
sounds
it was.
aw- that
I
sounds
gave up
hilarious.
pretty early. I gave up pretty early, and then that's when I found the like, oh wow, I can actually just watch the whole animation, which is what I wanted to do
Well,
anyway.
Right.
On the app, the only thing they added to it was you can turn on basically cheat, and it shows you which ways to swipe in order to make
Oh
the
wow.
right moves. Which, and what's crazy is it's still hard.
Wow.
Like I don't know that. Yeah, it blows my mind that people could beat that game when it was when there was no, there was no. I mean, I don't know. You just played it a million times.
Well, I made a lot of money for that reason, right? And
Right. Yeah, it's like the Lion King video game. Did you ever?
No.
Yeah.
Are you guys too?
Yeah.
Of that I don't know anybody that got past the second level.
oh, the hyena run, or I mean, I'm sorry, the
The
antelope.
swinging, the swinging from the tree branches.
Oh,
Yeah, you got much further than I did, right? I've never even heard of that part.
yeah. Ray spent a lot of too much time playing video games, but I guess
Yeah.
it was cheaper than playing Dragon's Lair to try and beat it. I'll tell you that. But if you have, I'm sure YouTube might have the whole like uninterrupted animation, but you've got to see the second one is insane. It's a time traveling one where Dirk goes like, it's all super surreal and stuff. But there's one like where they're integrating like Beethoven. He's like on a piano, and like you're trying to dodge his fingers and stuff like that, and like it's incredible. But Space Ace is a personal favorite of mine because I just love the character design.
That's cool.
Yeah.
There's that one.
Nice, Chris.
We've got to be past 20 minutes, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Good. Came out great, Bill.
2 minutes.
Nice.
20, it's 2 minutes past. We can stop
Okay.
if you want.
Should we check out the work and
Sure.
see what everybody's up to? Bill, that looks great.
That looks great, Bill.
Yeah, I was just trying to get something that felt like it was in motion
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
rather than specifics, but I like the light on her face.
Yeah.
Chris, we're stopping by your studio. Did we hear you pouring scotch into that can earlier? Is that
No, that was opening up a can of ale 8.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, it's nice.
I like what you did with her hair too.
Thank you. If that's who you're talking to.
Yep,
Oh
Chris.
yeah,
I'm talking to
Chris,
you.
it's great. Yeah.
Because I see bills right now.
John,
Oh, that's great, John.
That's awesome, John.
I started over. I didn't get very far.
Wow, that's beautiful though.
Hey, Timmy, could you put up Don's? Because all I have is Don's name across. I don't see Don's camera.
no one can.
We don't
he's
show
being-
that for.
Yeah. Ever since he started, ever since he got in with the FBI.
Yeah.
ADB.
We decided it was in our best interest to keep his camera off.
Sake of the audience.
Yeah. There we go. Nice.
I just did this one instead. I kind of took it in another direction.
That's beautiful.
No, this is an NC Wyeth painting.
No, I know.
Cool.
That's great,
All
man.
right. Well, let's check out what everybody in the crowd's been up to. Let's see.
Are there people still here?
No,
There's
we're just
76 people here, I think.
we're just doing this for
Ron?
Chris.
This is all about us.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, that's great.
Oh wow, yeah.
Whose is that? That's sweet. Way to
Randy.
go, Randy. Whoa.
Nice, Randy.
Nice,
And
Randy.
hit refresh though. Cool.
That's cool.
Sorry, let me try to resize this.
Oh, wow, beautiful.
Gary's
wow.
showing me up again.
We got a
Awesome,
spotlight,
Gary.
Gary.
Yeah, Gary's awesome. Nice.
Wow, that's cool.
Oh, nice. That one's good. Nice.
Yeah.
That ink wash, I mean, like using a brush.
Ooh, that's
Let
very
me
Oh,
let
that's
me
good.
let me check really quick because I want to make sure that we've got I want to make sure I've got the right viewing. We want new activity. Sorry, guys. Cool.
Oh, great.
Wow. Boy,
Yeah.
that was a great job on the three heads there.
Oh,
Beautiful.
wow.
Yeah.
I recommend everybody go back and look at that because those are
That's
three
beautiful.
images. That's great though.
Yeah.
It won't let me. Okay, here we go. And we're off.
nice, Andrew.
Cool.
Nice lighting on that.
Mm-hmm.
Nice action in the hair there.
Looks like
Yeah, that's a good one.
looks like a Die Hard villain.
Yeah. It's like
Terminator.
Schwarzenegger and the Running Man. Oh, that's a great
that one.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Wow. That is good.
Cool. These are great.
Oh, those are nice too.
Awesome.
cool.
Ooh, that's cool. The critic.
Yeah. Yeah.
The audition.
Yeah.
Well, that has a
That's
really
cool.
strong Seth Rogen
Yeah.
vibe.
Yeah. That's good.
That's very cool.
Bill Crow busting out the paintings.
That was posted a while ago. I think it has
Yeah.
to do with I tried to make it so it was newest, but
That's a nice one. Very cool. Nice. Job.
It's so great.
That's great.
Oh, that's great.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Wow.
Nice.
That's very printmaking kind of feel to it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Really nice.
That's cool.
Wow.
Nice colors.
Sorry guys, my computer's freezing up for whatever reason. Awesome. Joe, great to have you. These are great. This is so cool.
Oh, cool, Gary.
Yep.
Yeah.
Felicity's grandma.
Whoa.
Cool.
Yeah. Really cool.
Guy looks like a scientist or hacker from like a Transformers film or something.
Yeah.
You know, the one who realizes the Decepticons are evil.
Yeah.
The early, yeah.
Oh, that's great,
That
Gary.
one. That's killer.
Yeah.
Man.
Man.
Making me feel like a slacker on that one.
Yeah.
That's cool. Nice one, Julie. Oh, good job.
God, it got all of them in.
Wow.
That's got some good feel to it.
That's
Yeah.
a nice one too.
That's cool. Nice.
Yeah. All the personalities there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
That's great. Dang, Felicity killed it.
Yeah.
Oh, man. That's another nice one, too. Wow.
Oh, you get 20 minutes, you know. You, no, you don't got to do 5. No, this is great. Just teasing.
Wow. Very nice. Very nice. Very well played.
It's great.
Hold on.
Gucci mama.
Wow.
It's great.
Yeah.
Oh,
Nice.
Oh, Steve Hughes.
Very nice.
That's fun.
always can count on Addie to be here. That's awesome. Great. Abbott Smith, thanks for posting the books.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah.
Did Abbott have all of the books? That's amazing.
Wow.
Wow.
I racked up a lot of late fees on our National Geographic as a student. Wow, that's a nice one, Joe.
Yeah, really nice.
You got the whole figure in.
Yeah.
Nice.
Nice.
Hey, you got the quote there too.
Yeah. Cool. A lot of people drawing tonight. That's great.
Oh, nice one. Wow, that's
Whole
a
figure.
great one.
That's
Yeah.
so cool.
Yeah, that's great.
Wow. That is beautiful.
Yep.
Yeah.
Who did that one?
Keeper.
Oh, yeah.
Halstead also always here.
Nice. Wow.
Nice.
Yeah, cool. Don Kilpatrick. Apparently his camera works, but not his video camera. That's okay.
That's actually a really interesting problem, Ray.
Yeah, we should
Yeah,
report that
reaching-
one, Timmy.
Yeah, that one's going on the record. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. And how do we know that the Don in this room isn't catfishing us?
Yeah.
That's probably what's really going on. That's great.
Ooh, nice one.
Wow.
How do you hear? Cool. Oh, sweet. Wow. I like the came in late, started this one late and stuff because it's kind of impressive, you know. It's like,
Right.
yeah, I was at a track meet in college, and a kid was sitting next to me, and he's like, "When's the 100-meter start?" And I was like, "I think it's starting now." And you heard the gun go off, and he was like running down the running down the stadium.
Nice.
Ooh, very nice.
Still more though. Wow, this is great. It's gonna be record participation.
That's great.
Doug, awesome. I was like, we haven't seen
Very
anything by
nice.
Doug yet.
Wow.
That is good.
Yeah.
There you go, bud. Way to go, bud. Doug does not disappoint.
No.
He kills it.
Like let's go a little Daniel Craig here.
A little bit of Daniel Craig.
Oh, yeah.
That's great, Gary.
I agree, Gary. The chair is part of the character.
Gary's way of
I'll
calling me
do it.
lazy.
Yeah. Yeah, Gary's just straight up like, y'all are being lazy.
Yes.
Ooh, those are nice.
That's a nice one.
I mean, can you imagine if the Wade brothers had cropped that out and then
Right.
throw it up? It'd been like, no, that's not the photo we asked for. All right, cool.
Yeah, maybe we shouldn't invite them to the next stream.
Yeah. Here, I'm gonna, let's see. Pop over to Instagram. No, they'll be fun. They'll be a fun addition for sure.
That's great. Phil, is that one yours?
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
I've been typing in challenging the real that Polish guy. So
That's great.
a couple I just invited
Awesome.
him, but the last one I challenged him. So
I like that.
you'll have to probably scroll back up to see that one.
I think I just saw that one. It says visualize passage challenging
Yeah, but
That's great.
I did another one that
Oh,
said,
more formal, more of like the slap with the glove.
"Yo,
Yeah.
at the real Polish guy, we all challenge you to come draw with us."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool too.
Yeah. That's great.
That's looking
That's
beautiful, John.
great.
Man, those are nice.
That's yeah. That's yeah.
Cool.
Man, there's a lot of people contributing. Wow,
Yeah, there is.
that's great.
Nice one, AJ.
Sure.
That's got some nice character to it, though.
Yeah.
Hey, John Luke. Yeah, that's a great one too. That's nice. Nice one, John. Wow.
Yeah, beauty.
Thanks.
Yeah, it's really nice.
Yeah, those some nice heads.
That's cool. Really like that one. That's
Yeah, I just saw that one, John. That was great.
Yeah.
Two poses last week.
Cool.
Jeez, wow.
Awesome.
Holy moly.
That thing nice.
yeah.
Is that last week?
Yep, that was last week.
Boy.
Yeah. The Wades loved it. They had both of them commented, so they were like, whoa, amazing. So did them right. Awesome. Well, everybody, artists on the panel, Bill, Chris, Ray, Don, Audrey, who was here earlier. Thank you guys so much for joining tonight, and everybody in the audience, thanks for coming. Next week, if everything goes as planned, we will have, at the very least, one of two Wade brothers. Usually they come in a pair, so we'll probably get both of them. But yeah, we're gonna kick it off with a little intro, and then we're gonna move on to some other photography. Not to say we won't go back to the Wades, but we've got a couple ideas up our sleeves and a couple of photographers in the running. So, but yeah, so much fun, guys. Really always look forward to Thursday nights.
Very cool, everybody.
Awesome.
Awesome. Thank you so much, everyone. It was an honor to work
Great.
alongside you again.
Yeah.
Thanks,
absolutely.
guys.
Thank you, everybody.
Awesome.
All
Everybody
right.
be safe. Good night.
Bill, thank you so much. Audrey, who's already left, thanks so much. Really appreciate it. Timmy,
Yeah.
great job. Thank you.
Always special. Thanks.
Makes for a fun night.
Thanks, John. Thanks, Tim.
See you,
Have a
everybody.
nice night, Chris.
Have a great
You're
week.
gonna have to forgive me
Bye,
for
everyone.
teasing.
If you can't tease,
That's
Bye.
a bonus.
I know. I'm gonna get in trouble. All
have
right.
fun, guys.
You too. Bye.
See you guys.
Have a great
Girls.
Take care.
Bye.